another hike, another trip to Jack's. Anyways, we are going to a spot on the Cumberland Trail that I actually have been before, only briefly, only hiked like not even like a quarter mile in. I did not hike very far because it was icy and snowy, which is why I went there, because I wanted to go somewhere that was going to be like practical for an icy, snowy, like little hike. But I didn't realize that there's like just a bunch of stairs at the beginning and it's all stone, so when it's icy it's very slick. Don't recommend. But I was able to make it safely, and there's a little waterfall right at the beginning, so it's actually worthwhile just for that. But otherwise, I mean, I don't recommend it for like a full-on winter hike. But anyways, I also got a new lens cap for my camera with a tether on it, which I really need because the old one kept falling off all the time. And we are going to the place where I believe I lost it. It fell out of my pocket or something. I don't think it was on the lens when I lost it. And since it was snowy, I was like, oh, it's black, white snow, I'll be able to find it. Went back, looked for it, never found it. So yeah, I just got that just the other day, put it on, and now it's connected to my camera, so I can't lose it. I don't have to worry about throwing it in a pocket or setting it somewhere, because that's usually an issue, so really excited about that. But anyways, I will see y'all shortly when we get to our destination. So we are here, and we're gonna hike all the way down to the bottom, cross the bridge, go up the next side, and go to Perkins Point, and then come back. That is the plan. That is where I built a snowman last time I was here. I built a little snowman. I left him there. I walked out. I walked down to here. It was like untouched snow. And I was like, I'm going to build a little snowman. It was very little. And I set him up right there. I will insert a picture here. My camera just fell. Not good. But I think it's okay. Hopefully it's okay. It's a little scratched up on the side of the lens. Got banged up. But let's see. I think we're okay. I think we're good. Oh goodness, that was scary. One of the ladies here just dropped her phone, and then I looked over at that, and then my camera fell off backwards off the tree. So I was like, that's the first time I dropped my camera like that. It tumbled. I was like, oh, you dropped your phone. Oh no, there goes my camera. So this is where it's damaged. That is cracked on the rim of the lens there. But overall, like, it still works fine. And the lens itself is not damaged. Just that's what took the brunt of the blow. There's a little chip there too. Not a big deal. But everything else is perfectly fine, thankfully. The screen is perfectly fine. So I am very grateful. This could have been a lot worse. But it's still a bummer that happened. So my camera was balancing here and it just wobbled over. And it tumbled all the way down to right there. That's where I had to go grab it. So scary, but all is well. I'll stop talking about the woes of my camera and we'll move on. So I have not been this far down the trail, not much further. I basically just turned around at the waterfall last time I was here. It looks totally different when there's no snow on the ground. I can tell you that for sure. So we've already come up to our first bridge crossing. It's like some high steps to get up to it, but it's a little bit crooked. But it looks stable, unlike the ones that used to be on the other section of this trail. So this trail ultimately ends up going that direction and connects to another section of the trail that I did last year. If you want to watch the video on that, it'll be linked at the end of this video, so you'll see what I'm talking about with the bridges. Okay, now that I've crossed the bridge, I see these are held up the same exact way as the bridges that have gone out on the other end. However, they look like they're done a little bit better. Still doesn't look like the best idea to me. I'm not an engineer, but I don't think that's the best option here for bridge support. But the difference between this and what the bridges that have gone out on the other end is there's not one in the center. The ones that went on the other end, they had the same pylons in the center that they had made, and the creek took those out first, which then put pressure on either end and like dislocated those, and that's why they ended up collapsing, I believe. So this one seems to be in better condition, but it might eventually meet the same demise. And that's why that bridge is crooked. You see, it's all sorts of crooked. So this hike is already reminding me a lot of the Piney River segment. I don't remember the name of the trailhead that we started at, but I did that back in the fall with my friend, and this is very reminiscent of it. It's a little more strenuous than that one, but it's very similar. Also not heavily traveled. Like, it's traveled enough, you can see the trail and everything, but it's not crowded or super busy. So far, I'm enjoying this hike and recommend it. So the trail, there's clearly a trail here that someone's made. I think someone made it given this graffiti here. Don't do this, guys. Don't graffiti. But the trail goes this way, so I'm not really sure. We're gonna go this way. I don't know why there's two different trails here. I see what they did now. So we were over there and went over, and now we're coming up to switchback. So what they did is they shortcutted straight to like the bottom of the switchback. So, I mean, the trail's there. You can do it if you want. Just don't write on the trailblazes, people. I don't know why we have to tell people in this day and age not to vandalize, but that's what we gotta do. As you can see, this is the actual trail. That shortcut is not the actual trail. I think it switches back that way, so this is a shortcut. That's the way. But yeah, I mean, that's totally doable. I don't see it really causing a whole lot of harm to the environment, but I always say stick to the actual trail. It's always the best option. Trail's there for a reason, and you don't want to ruin more habitats. Okay, I'm just taking a guess here. We're going this way. And I'm just gonna guess that I can see a little bluff, like right about there. I'm guessing that might be Perkins Point. I don't know. That's just my wild guess. I just want to see when we get there if the view looks like oh, look at that view. Look at that view over there. I didn't even see that. That is pretty. Wow. That is a view that you'd only get in the wintertime because of the leaves being out of the way. And there's the bridge for the creek crossing. So this is Possum Creek, I think. I'll double check that. And there's the bridge, and then we're gonna go up this ridge over here and over that direction. This step may not look like much, but it is. Like, there's my knee. It's at the level of my knee, and it's uphill. We're kind of on a steep spot. I'm filming and doing this at the same time. Do I need a hand? My hands are full. I need like 8 hands, let's be honest here. Okay, I'm putting the phone down. I made it up. All is good. Nothing else is broken. By nothing else, I mean, I'm talking about my camera still being broken. It still works, like I've used it, so I'm happy about that, but I'm still really bummed that that happened. Of all of the close calls I've had, that was like very unexpected. Like, I thought it was super safe and it really wasn't. Need to pay attention more and be a little more cautious. Yeah, so this old mining road, we're supposed to go this way. So far, this hike is definitely strenuous. There are some flat spots, and there's a lot of up and down. Compared to other hikes that I've done, I would say this is on the more strenuous end of things. I have done more strenuous ones though. So, yeah, if you were going to do this like point to point, which is what we were going to do originally, it would be insane. So, kind of glad we're not doing that today. We are going to come back the way we came. We're almost to Perkins Overlook, which is where we are going to be stopping, and that'll be our turnaround point eventually. So yeah, it's a lot of up and down, because you go like, you start at the top of the one ridge, you go down, cross the creek, come back up, and there's some like up and down even like in between all that. So like right now, we're going down. We just went up. We're going back down. It's a little muddy and slick through here, so if you do go on this hike, be mindful of the shoes you're wearing, because they probably will get wet. It hasn't rained here in a while, and yet we still have all this going on. But thankfully, I thought for a second we had to walk through that, but thankfully we don't. We get to walk over here. So, because that would be very unsafe. Oh. So see, we started our hike over there. Went around that ridge, walked all the way down, crossed the creek, now we're over here. I think we're getting close though, hopefully. So remember how just a little bit ago I said this wasn't the most difficult thing I've done? This is definitely near the top of the list. Or at the top of the list, I'm not 100% sure yet. We're not there yet. But ooh, that was just like, it's a gradual uphill, but it's just constant. And it's like uphill for like a mile. I feel like I've said this before in a video, so maybe I've done hikes like this, but I just can't think of them right now. I guess because I'm in this turmoil. But oh, so there's a down tree here, but there's steps. We don't have to go under the tree. Yay! No, that wouldn't be too difficult. But oh, you can see my face is red. So it's just like, oh, this is really. I definitely would not do this in the summertime. It would be way too hot, humid. I would be dead. I'm dying as it is. It's in the 50s out right now, so, whew, but we're like in direct sunlight almost, because the tree cover over here with winter, not much tree cover, and we're on the sunny side of the ridge. So just know what you're getting yourself into if you do this hike. Definitely is a challenging one, so I recommend it if you want a challenge. If you do not want a challenge, this is not the hike for you. We have entered the old pine tree farm. So there's actually like, I don't know how many acres of pine tree farm up here, but where the trail continues further down and across the road and stuff that I've done before. The video that's linked at the end of this one goes through a section of that. And yeah, it's an old pine tree forest. I don't know if they still harvest these or not, but that's why it's all pine trees. And it has like such a different feel. It's like hard to describe. You just kind of have to experience it for yourself. It's so different than like walking through the rest of the forest with other trees, like, because it's just all pine trees. I hear a train.
Are we almost there?
I feel like we're almost there. I hope we're almost there. I'm hungry. So we cannot find Perkins Point Overlook, and we've looked at maps and everything. I believe we've passed it, so we're hoping to find it on our way back. We've gone downhill some. We've gone like halfway down the other ridge. You can hear the other creek over here, and there's the other ridge. And you can see we've gone down quite a bit because we were like up there basically. So we were stopping to eat because we are starving now. The goal was to eat at the Overlook. That's not happening, so here we are. We are almost to the very top of this. We hiked all the way down there for basically no reason. But you can see the view again. We hiked so far down you couldn't even see the view. We were halfway down the ridge. We're dying. Going up all these steps. And we're not done yet. Because then after this, we'll have to go down all the way to the bottom to the creek and then back up again. So this is, you definitely have to be prepared for this one. It's definitely not an easy one, for sure. You see that rock bluff up there? That's where we need to go. I thought this rock bluff that we just crossed over here was that, but it's not. Oh, it's the never-ending mountain. We may not find the Overlook, but it's still a beautiful view from the trail. Okay, we're almost to the very top, and we've found it. Well, my friend found it. The little jut off to the Overlook. It's here. We walked right past it from the top, and then started going down. We didn't even need to go down any. Like, we're dead.
Oh, no,
And we still gotta go back down.
this is boundary, TDEC State Parks.
Oh, never mind. Apparently that's a boundary line. so never mind. This is marking that, no, this is the boundary for the park. So, false alarm. Celebrated prematurely. The classic, we don't know what we're doing or where we're going.
No,
Yeah, this is exactly like the time you and I, when we did Retro Houston, I remember, and I was like, oh, you go this way. And then we're like, no, you don't go this way. Where is the trail? That's what I coined it as. I was like, where is the trail? Get back on the trail. Yeah, we parked on the wrong parking lot, and yeah. Again, that video will be linked at the end of this one because this is way too much like that day. I feel like we're reliving it. We're just at the other end of that trail. But yeah, so like the Overlook would be there. I mean, that would be an Overlook. So this is the highest point.
There's another boundary thing, I think.
Yeah.
So do you think?
Yeah, so we're not supposed to go over here because it's out of the park. So we're at a loss here. We're like dissecting the information from online and looking at all the maps and everything. We cannot figure out where this point is other than like it has to be this bluff here, this rock. And yet there's no way to it. And the trail goes like around it, like nicely around it. And then the park boundaries kind of block it off. And it's like, it would be within the park boundaries, right? Like it should be. So I don't know. I have to do some more research when I get home, see if I can figure it out. And I'll update y'all on that in my blog post, which will be linked below. So if you find the information in my blog post, that means I figured it out. If my blog post says I don't know, that means I still don't know. So you can hear the creek down there. The phrase of the day is, we're almost there, we're getting closer. Around the next corner. But is that the truth? Rarely. Very rarely. We are getting closer. I mean, that is true. You're always getting closer if you continue moving. However, closer is a relative word, so it all depends on your perspective. I think I've been out here for too long, so now I'm starting to have like deep thoughts with y'all and this is kind of weird, so I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, we made it down that big main part going down. Now we gotta go back to this way, and then there's like a couple switchbacks down to the creek bridge, and then up the other side. That's gonna be the killer. It's going back up. Oh, and we're all just like wore out. Like, this hike is not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you what. It is a challenge, and I don't think any of us were really mentally prepared for this today. Like, we knew, but I don't think a lot of this is in your head. Getting the strength to do this, it really is mind over matter. There's the bridge. So if you and everybody you're with is just like dragging your feet and like, oh, this is so hard, it makes it actually harder than if you don't talk about it and you just do it and encourage one another. Be like, we're almost there, keep going, even when you're not almost there, because that's happened a lot today. It just makes it a lot easier in the long run. And it's fun to hike with people if you guys can talk. So talking about stories and other things kind of distract your mind from the work you're actually doing, and you can hike a whole trail and not even really notice because you're mentally in another world thinking about whatever you're talking about. That's my strenuous hiking tips for the day. And there's the creek down there. So begins our trek up the other side. Came there, all the way up. Oh yeah, there's the bridge. You can see the bridge right there. So we just came from that bridge. We're already up quite a ways, but we still have quite a ways to go. Like, yeah. So that right there is what I thought was going to be the point, but we ended up having to hike to the very top. We were actually at the very top of this, and now we're back here. It's insane. And we hiked all the way down, back there, and then we hiked back up, and now we're here, and we got around this corner and go down a little more. Like, this hike is crazy. Like, when you actually, you look at it on a map and it doesn't look that insane. You start doing it, it's a little, it will make you crazy. Like, it feels longer than it actually is because there's so many switchbacks and like going in circles basically. It's not straightforward at all. The final bridge. Hallelujah. And then we gotta go uphill. Why do I always have to end on an uphill? I try not to, actually. But I knew that coming into this. I knew there was gonna be uphills, so that's on me. But, oh, it's been a day. But at the end of this, we'll be able to say we survived. Hopefully. We're not out of the woods yet. Goodbye, waterfall that's at the very beginning of the trail. Hello, sunset. So pretty. We're trekking on up these stairs, almost to the top. Okay, made it back. Just for reference, started here, we were gonna turn around here, never found the point, kept going. We turned around about here. That's where we stopped and ate lunch, which as you can see is down a lot. The top mountain's here and this is down. So we went like halfway down the ridge. And then we came back. So we did a lot of extra uphill that really wasn't necessary, but that was a long, difficult hike, but definitely worth it. And the sunset colors to greet us when we get back. So pretty. So just for reference, that noise you hear is 111. So this is a road that goes parallel to 111. 111's right over the fence there. So you get off the Jones Gap Road exit and see there's 111 there, one a car. And you turn by the gas station and come down this road, and here's the parking on the left. So very easy to find and get to. So tired. Very long day. It is 6:15. We started this hike at like 10:45, 10:50. So I don't even know how many hours that is. I'm too tired to figure that out. But so happy to be sitting down in my car, Can't wait to go home, eat some food, and go to bed. That was the hike. Lots of up and downs, which I knew that going into it, but it's just weird how it's laid out, so it just doesn't feel like you're really going anywhere. I think that's what I was trying to say when I said it feels like you're going crazy. It feels like you're not making any progress. So definitely recommend though. Like, the bridges and stuff are pretty, the creeks are pretty, waterfalls. There's a waterfall further down the trail that we didn't make it to, like a big waterfall. I wanted to do that, but we'll have to do that another time. And of course, I'll take y'all along with me when we do. My friend and I, we plan to do point to point, which would be from this trailhead to Retro Huge Trailhead, and it's like 8 miles, give or take. So it's gonna be a tough one, but that'll be like a big all-day thing. We might just even have to like camp halfway or something because it's so strenuous, but we'll see. If you are not huge into hiking or you don't think you're really up to this task, still recommend coming here and checking out that waterfall right at the beginning. Like, seriously, so close to the trailhead. Definitely worth coming just for that. Or hike down to the bridge at the bottom, but that bridge down there at Possum Creek, that is kind of a long hike. Then you have to come back up. So that one's also long, but not quite as long as we did. We did almost twice as long as that, so just kind of put things into perspective. So I definitely recommend just be prepared. Like, this is a tough hike for sure. Definitely not for the faint of heart, like I said before. But more details and photos and everything will be in my blog post, which will be linked below. Hopefully more information. Hopefully I can figure out where Perkins Point Overlook is. I'm going to do some research and figure that out. So I will keep y'all posted on that. That is pretty much it for this week's video. So if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, really helps me out. And I will see y'all next week.